through Bombay in the 70s and 80s, there was Pablo Bartholomew observing. You were at the heart of it at those parties with the people who were making this new city. But you were also looking at things in the edges. And many of the themes that you shot, the prostitutes, the street children, the extras, became major projects for people later. Mary Ellen Mark made the prostitutes her work. Dario Mitidiardi made the street children his work. How did you fix on these groups so early? You saw these things that people would later decide were very important. You already knew that.
I think for me, having just been thrown out of high school, I was 15, and then by 17, I actually started to photograph because I needed something to do, and photography was like an escape route to be able to photograph. But Delhi wasn't interesting enough in terms of professionally to sustain myself. So Bombay was the channel, and I started to photograph the fringe there within the film industry, the extras, the dance girls. They excited me more. Of course, for the production companies, I did the colorful lobby stills or the poster still. Also, I felt sort of marginal in myself in a way because that whole sort of leaving school led me into a kind of socially ostracized mode, because my parents were in the arts. They were fairly well known. Everybody in Delhi knew everybody. It was, again, very small. So somebody getting kicked out of school was a big deal. And it sort of led to a kind of ostracization, and then I sort of went into a shell. One of the first things that I did in Delhi as a story that then won me some acclaim and then kind of redeemed me. So from the fallen angel, I became the sort of wonder kid. And that was, I did a series of pictures on a morphine addict in Delhi, in Paharganj, which is the hippie ghetto. And that got me the World Press Photo Award at the age of 19. And then I became front page. India Today did a spread. So all these things, so suddenly, that Bartholomew kid who's gone wrong is actually not so bad. More interesting people, really. Though I had a network of friends within the arts, within the film industry in Bombay, the real life really was within the streets. And within the streets, you had the unit quarters, the opium dens, the prostitutes, the street children, and that sort of engaged me and sucked me in. So, but for me, I think the regret is that maybe I should have worked more densely. Like you're saying, they became subject matters, whether for Dario or Mary Ellen Mark. I could have maybe tried to do something, but the problem really was the tension between money earning, and even then, Bombay wasn't cheap to come in. You had to buy your equipment, have your film. Well, I think any capital, like if you look at Washington or Delhi, you have the political layer, you have the bureaucracy, the diplomacy, and then the way Delhi is structured and planned is you have colonies, and each colony developed at a certain time and sort of denotes a certain kind of person or income group that lives there. Bombay that way is much more mixed. Yes, there is between Parel, Dadar, in the Chaul areas, there is a stratification, but there's much more give give and take in Bombay that I found. Plus, in Delhi, everybody's only interested in knowing who you are, whether you're worth knowing, where you live, how much you earn, what you do, and then they gauge you. In Bombay, I found a much freer kind of engagement. People didn't want to know all these things. However, some of the new Bombay frightens me. I mean, like you go into the suburbs and you see these huge malls, and you go in there. I used to go in there professionally to photograph, but somewhere that world I don't engage with, because for me the Bombay that I know and knew still is something else in my head.